Hey everyone, my name is Marcus Ibrahim and I'm going to give you a really quick real estate market update for the month of August. This month, it's all about the game of chicken between buyers and sellers, and I'm going to show you what I mean with my personal experience backed by data, but you're not going to be able to find this information anywhere else. This is only coming from a realtor who's active in the marketplace today. Let's jump in. Number one, new listings have begun their seasonal decline toward the end of the year, which is expected. Number two, active listings are still climbing, which is a sign that even though there's less new listings, the active listings are staying on the market longer. That is evidenced by point number three, days active in the MLS. Those days on market are climbing more than they were before and more than they were last year. Number four, months of supply. This is defined as the time it takes to sell a listing divided by the number of listings on the market. So months of supply is climbing over 4 months now, the highest it's been in 5 years. Lastly, for this section is price per square foot. This graph looks pretty normal to me. The price per square foot has begun its seasonal decline toward the end of the year. I always tell you guys this every single month. So if you've been following along, you already know this, but the end of the year is typically softer than the beginning of the year. The second half of the year is typically softer than the first half of the year. I typically tell my sellers, try to avoid November, December if you can. And I tell my buyers, jump in November, December if you can find something you like. Now, obviously, you're not gonna force the deal if you can't find something you like in November, December. And that's why August is nice, because there's typically higher supply than the rest of the year, meaning sellers that heard that their neighbors got good deals back in May are now late to the party, and now they're on the market thinking, who's gonna buy my listing, and no one's biting. So August is good because it has high supply and less demand. Why is there less demand in August? Is because most people are on last minute vacations before the school year. Then September, October come into play and people are back to their routines, they're back to work, the kids are back in school, and I typically feel a little bit more support from buyers in September, October. Then November, December, everyone's focused on holidays. So you should know this by now if you've been following along. Long story short, the price per square foot graph is trending down slightly toward the end of the year, which is cyclical, normal, and expected. However, what's different this year, I'm going to tell you from my boots on the ground perspective. This year, I have been experiencing a game of chicken between the buyers and the sellers. Many sellers have put their properties on the market and they might be using old data from last year or earlier this year, whenever the market might have been stronger. As you see from this graph, January through April was strong. After April, it immediately changed directions. But long story short, sellers might be pricing it based on old prices and buyers are skittish right now. I'm not saying don't buy, I'm just saying the buyers that are out there are typically skittish. They're making low offers or no offers. They're kicking tires, trying to figure out what's going on with the market, with tariffs, with politics, with payrolls came out. Job postings came out at 77,000 instead of the projected 106,000. So that caused the stock market to take a dive. The long story short is that buyers are skittish and sellers are stuck on their previous pricing. So we have this game of chicken where the offers are not attractive and yet the sellers don't want to lower the price because they don't have to. They're not like in distress like they were in 2008 where they were forced to sell at a lower price because of foreclosure. That's not the case. Sellers have good equity. They have good holding power. Their loans are well qualified. Okay, so you have a game of chicken. Who's gonna bite first? Is the buyer gonna come up and meet the seller's demands? Or is the seller gonna come down and meet the buyer's demands? Now, I have some short-term predictions and some long-term predictions. My short-term predictions are that I think we're gonna see more of the same for the rest of this year. I think we're gonna see a trend downward toward the end of the year. Then I think we're gonna see a bump in the beginning of the year. However, the beginning of next year, I am expecting more inventory than the beginning of this year. You see, for the last 5 years, inventory has been climbing steadily. New listings have been climbing climbing steadily since 2020. Well, since last year, really. This is our third year of more new listings. And we've had a steady increase of active listings. So, long story short, my prediction is that prices will continue to get softer until the end of the year. Then the beginning of the year, we're gonna have a little bump, a little boost of confidence. Hopefully the dust will have settled from all the political shenanigans that are going on. And once we get that boost of confidence, there's gonna be more listings that hit the market, more inventory on the market, and then we also have the longer term projection. The longer term projection is that we have the silver tsunami, which are baby boomers who own most of the real estate in this country. A lot of those baby boomers are going to be selling larger properties and looking for something more manageable. So I think we're gonna have more and more supply over the next 10 years of large multi-story homes, and they're going to be competing for these smaller or medium single-story homes. So if you're a buyer or a seller in today's market, call us to help you position yourself. Whether you're buying, we'll help you position yourself in a position of strength. Whether you're selling, we'll help you position your property in a position of strength with great marketing. And we also have some extra tools in our toolbox that will help you sell your property, like some grants that will encourage buyers to pay more for your property. Free money, no PMI, why not? If this applies to you or a friend or a family, please feel free to share it or let us know. I'd love to hear your comments your thoughts in the comments below. My information is below. I'd love to talk to you anytime. Feel free to call me. I'm happy to chat. My name is Marcus Ibrahim. God bless you. Take care.